congratulations on Moana 2. It's so cool that you guys are part of the songwriting team. Everyone might know your names from the unofficial Bridgerton soundtrack, but you guys have obviously gone from strength to strength since. How does it feel stepping into a film like Moana 2, not only as the first female duo to write a soundtrack for Disney, but also as two Gen Zs?
It's it's wild.
It's crazy. I know because we grew up with Disney movies. Like we are part of the Disney generation. So I feel like having that music ingrained in our DNA has probably affected the way that we write
Oh
like
yeah.
deeply.
hmm
Yeah, and Moana already has a huge fan base. How did you approach creating new songs for the second movie, and what was your own personal perspective you wanted to bring?
Oh, well, we love the music from the first film, and the music world is so lush and wonderful. So we wanted to pay homage to that. But also everything is bigger in the second film. You know, Moana is evolved. She's aged. She's the first Disney heroine that's ever been allowed to age.
Yeah.
And her island has grown. Her people have grown as a community.
Maui, all everyone that we've met in the first movie has grown and evolved as people do in real life.
Right.
So we kind of wanted to have one foot in, one foot out, keeping the roots in the world of Moana that we know and love, but also allowing the tone and the voices to evolve, the music to expand and get bigger, and for new characters, figure out what that sounded like and how to make it different.
Yeah, and the trailer already has, amassed this huge reaction, over 178 million views in 24 hours. How did you both react knowing that your music is now going to be heard by so many people?
I was like, wow, that's a lot of eyeballs.
And a lot of ears. It's wonderful. It's like we said, it's every songwriter's dream. And so it's just an honor and a privilege, especially writing for such a fabulous and fierce Disney female heroine. She's the best.
Yeah, I feel like because it's in such a small room for so long and no one knows about it except for us and the filmmakers, that like when something like that happens, we're like, oh my God, other people are actually going to watch this. This makes it
Right.
very real all of a sudden. This is crazy.
Yeah, and I guess for both of you, having watched the first one and then coming into working on the second one, were there any characters that you guys really resonated with on the first one that helped the songwriting journey?
I mean,
Yeah,
Moana, of course. Like
our girl.
every girl sees himself in a Disney princess slash heroine.
hmm
So that was like the easiest lift
Yeah.
out of all of them.
And also Emily was 19, 20 at the time when we booked this job, and Moana is 19 in this film. And so that made it the easy
Yeah.
lift to step into her shoes and sort of honor where she was, because we were feeling very similar in our own lives to how she feels in this film.
Yeah, and Abigail, with your experience in pop music and Emily, your background in jazz and film scores, how did those different styles kind of come together when you were writing for this film?
It's funny because after you've written something, you can kind of like hear all the different influences that you like subconsciously put into the song. I mean, there's there's so many things, like my jazz background with Get Lost, and also I was on tour with Beyonce while we wrote that song, and I'm positive that being on tour with her at that point impacted what we wrote.
Absolutely.
Because we gave that girl some vocals on that song.
Yeah.
And your fast rap obsession, like as a kid, came back to really help us when all of a sudden we needed to write a very, very fast rap. It was just
Yeah.
like weird little things.
Yeah. And I feel like your what is it? I'm trying to think of the word. Just your background in like big epic film scores.
Yeah.
And then my pop sensibilities, when they come together, it's like we make bops that make you feel things, make you feel big things.
Like we want it to be a spectacle, but a spectacle that you can't stop singing.
Yeah.
I'm ready to not stop singing 100%. And you guys both love, I've seen you guys on TikTok, and that's become a huge part of pop culture, especially with movies and music. How are you hoping that the songs from this movie will kind of connect with audiences on that platform?
There's no point in trying to predict because TikTok is so weird in that like you can't viral moments are just so strange and they come out of nowhere, and they could be a song that's been out for 40 years that suddenly gets a random resurgence. So like I have thoughts, but I don't know. We'll see what the people think.
Yeah, and I think ultimately if they have fun making and creating content to the songs that we've written, I think that's the win, you
Yeah.
know?
And without giving away any spoilers, what song or moment from Moana 2 are you most excited for fans to hear? And any favorite behind the scenes stories from, the studio sessions and pulling this sort of movie score together?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many BTS moments that I wish we could talk about, but I love Beyond. Like Beyond is that girl for me. But there's a moment in Dwayne's song, Can I Get a Chihu, that is kind of insane. And we just learned that there's like a crowd of mud skippers, which is like a type of fish that eats mud. Um, and they're singing backgrounds because naturally they're singing backgrounds.
Of course.
And we just learned that there's 27,000 mud skippers in that scene. Which is
that 27,000 animated fish, which is insane.
the Ipa mug. Jesus.
Mud.
Mud.
I was gonna say, Can I Get a Chihu has like grown to be one of my favorites. And when Dwayne heard it for the first time, he FaceTimed us, but from our boss Jared's phone. So I was in New York, you were in the car in LA, and we both got a call from Jared. We thought, oh, he's just played it for him. Like, we're probably just gonna hear what he thought.
He played it for Dwayne and we got radio silence. We're like, oh my God, he hates it. And then he called us.
And then he called us and it was Dwayne on the other line. And
He loved it, by the way.
He loved
Okay.
it and he was so nice and I called him Mr. The Rock because I was in such shock.
She was in a bathrobe.
I was in a bathrobe getting
Towel on
ready.
head and everything.
I was like getting ready for a Broadway show and got a call from Dwayne.
And I was trying not to crash my car. So cheers.
Cheers.
And you're just like, hi, Mr. Rock. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's so lovely to meet you.
I'll never forget that. I'm like, thanks, Jared, for the heads up.
Right.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, and finally, kind of paint me a picture. I'm in the theater, the lights have dimmed, the movie is about to start, the first song that we hear. Tell me, what should I expect and what am I going to feel?
It's going to suck you right back in from the moment it starts.
Yeah.
It starts off with a bang. But I don't know. Get ready to cry. We all did.
Yeah. I hope you feel like taken care of when it comes to being brought back into the world of Moana
Well
because
said.
she's grown, and we wanted that to be evident in the music.
Yeah. Oh, and I hear you guys have been practicing your Australian accent.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I mean, give me one sentence in your best Aussie accent about Moana 2.
Okay,
Ooh.
I'm the only word I can really say well is "whata." That's it. So I'm gonna let you lead.
Lots and lots of water in this film.
That was brilliant. Thank you guys so much. I am so excited to see this film. And yeah, it's awesome to see two young women, building the soundtrack for this one. So I'm in awe.
Angel, thank
Thanks.
you.
Enjoy it when it comes out.
Thank you and enjoy Australia.
Thank
Thanks.
you.